The following program is brought to you in part by the film Backdoor Channels, The Price of Peace.
Hi, I'm Charney, and this is the Charney Report. And what other subject encompasses the minds of all of us today? Terrorism. And who else to bring on the show but a man named Peter Malkin? You probably know his name because you saw him portrayed in the film, and Robert Duvall was the star of this film, and it was about the capture of Adolf Eichmann. And Peter Malkin is the man who literally captured him with a team of Mossad people, but he's the guy that tackled him in Argentina on a lawn. So we have him on the show, and he's going to talk about that story, but a lot of other things, and especially terrorism. He's an expert, a former member of the Mossad, which is equivalent to the the American CIA, and the Shin Bet, which is the U.S. Secret Service. He's a man who knows a lot about what is happening in the world today, and we'll give you some fables about what happened in the past. Peter, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
You've been all over the news lately because this film was produced by TNT, I believe, right?
The man who captured Eichmann.
The man who captured Eichmann. How'd you get to Duvall, or he got to you?
He got to me. One day, I was in Israel, and suddenly I got a call from United States, New York, and Robert Duvall is on the phone. I said, yes. He said, I read your book, Eichmann In My Hands. It's one of the best books I read lately, and the dialogue is one of the best I read ever. So I would like to play, I like to be in this, I want to buy the rights, and also I want to make a movie of it.
He produced it, right?
He produced it, yes.
Directed it too?
No, it was directed by Graham, his name, and he is in partnership with Stan Margolis, that made the Thornbirds.
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 In Australia. Duvall played Eichmann, though, didn't he?
Duvall played Eichmann. The story is about Eichmann. I am just, the other side of the story. And I think that the most important thing is to tell who is Eichmann, what made Eichmann be. And through his answers, there's a dialogue between them in the room, and through the questions and answers, you, as the viewer or the reader of the book, has to come to the conclusion who was Eichmann. And through him, you can learn about other Germans.
All right, what made the Israelis, the Mossad, go after Eichmann? There are thousands of high-ranking German generals, I'm sure Nazis, SS men. Why did they pick Eichmann?
Look, after the Nuremberg trial, there haven't been so many stars later, and one of the stars was Eichmann, and for us Jews, he was the biggest one, not only Jews, I think, for many
So, in other
people.
words, he was the biggest catch.
He was the biggest man then. He was the head of the Jewish department. He was responsible of sending millions of people, 6 million of Jews and about another 6 million of other nationalities, and about 1.5 million of children to death in the camps. He said, if you see the dialogue, I was only responsible for the transportation. So it looks like in those days, behind the desk, you could kill much more than with a pistol. And that's what he has done. He just sent them to the camps.
I know that you lost a lot of members of your family in the Holocaust.
Yes, I've lost.
You were born in Poland but lived in Israel for a year and then went back to Poland in the underground, is that it?
It was very difficult to say where I was born because according to, you never know where you're born. It's only you get the story from your parents.
Right.
So I was born in Israel, and after 1 year, I went to Poland till the age of 8, and we escaped again because my mother decided to...
Why did you go back to Poland after...
Because my mother left some relatives and my sister and 3 children and a brother, and there was no way to take them out. There was no certificate at that time.
So you went back to Poland to bring them out?
Yeah, I came with
You were
my
a
mother,
kid,
was
you were a
only
baby.
1 year.
Right.
So I lived with her till age of 8, and we didn't succeed to take out my sister and children and about 180 of relatives, and we went back to Israel, and they died in Auschwitz.
What year did you go back to Israel?
It's about, I think, 37, something like
So
that.
before the war.
Before the war.
And your
But
mother,
still,
your
it's
mother,
already
your mother
what
went
then-
back with you?
Yes.
So you and your mother survived?
Me and my mother and a brother
And
survived.
your brother's in Israel?
No, they died already.
Oh, sorry.
Nobody but me. I
Peter,
wouldn't say I have
all
a
right,
wife and
so-
children,
so-
but
so
we
you-
say about the survivors.
So you grew up, you had the 48 war. What did you do in the 48 war?
What did I did?
Yeah.
I was in the army for sure, and I was an expert in explosive at that time. And that's what I've done. After 2 years, I became a Secret Service man.
Mossad.
No?
Or Shin Bet?
Shin Bet. At that time, 1950, it was it still was not so separated as now, but the head of all of it, of all the
Israel?
security was Israel.
Israel.
Of these things, 2 things.
Was
But if you needed somebody-
was Ben Gurion very involved with the Secret Service?
Ben-Gurion was very involved in the capture of Eichmann, for sure, but the head of the state is always very
The
contact.
Mossad and the Shin Bet report to the Prime Minister.
To the Prime Minister.
Right.
And Israel is always like this.
All right, so the Mossad was a fledgling. There's a book written by Raviv and Mailman. Did you read that book on Israeli intelligence? Did you ever read it?
They want me to help them.
Was it a correct book?
You know, they repeat the stories that you already heard, but they made it a little bit better. Better editing and some other news. To me, they came for some other reason. They said, what happened to the Mossad? What is wrong? I said, look, gentlemen, I don't tell about what is wrong. If you come to me and say what is good, maybe I will tell you also about the wrong. But after I worked 28 years, I'm not going to tell you about my friends, what's wrong, what is good, because you want to make a book for money. So I didn't help them.
All right, so now in 1950, you're in the Mossad or Shin Bet. It was one security.
1950 was in the Secret Service. I was in Secret Service. Shin Bet.
Shin Bet. So they just Shirut Mo'am in Hebrew. In case anybody here is Jewish who's listening to the show, we hope a few are. We hope a few aren't also. So we're ecumenical here. Now it's 1950. The Mossad is fledgling. The state is fledgling. It's going to cost a lot of money to do this operation. I'm sure there was a lot of political debate, knowing Israel is a political debate on whether they should sell kashivarnikas or potato knishes. You know, everything's a debate.
Are you talking about 1960?
I'm 50. When you're
No, but the capture of Eichmann
I know,
was
but this is 50. So obviously they have plans because Israel at that time was had just come through the War of Independence. There's a lot of anger and animosity about those words are too easy, about the Holocaust. Now it comes to 1960. The Mossad is pretty well organized. Issa Harel is there. What happens? Harel comes in and says, "We got a catch for you."
Not exactly, you know. There was a small department talking about Nazis. I was not involved with it because normally what I have done, I was the head, at that time a small section, the head of the operations, in, let's say, in Haifa and Tel Aviv, the head, and later I became, when I went to the Mossad, I was the head of the operation I created, the head of the operation of the Mossad. It's equivalent to a general.
What do you mean by operations?
By operation is doing operation. The Mossad, you know, how is it? Because a lot of people don't understand between the FBI, the CIA, they don't understand between Shin Bet and the Mossad. The Shin Bet is like the equivalent.
Internal security.
It's only internal security, and also outside, let's say, the embassies, everything.
VIP security.
Okay, security. Now, and the Mossad and the CIA is always bringing information from outside the country.
And
it's not defending,
right?
Bringing, collecting
and
information.
Doing some operations.
Okay, doing it is also bringing. This was an exception. The capture of Eichmann is an exception.
In modern Middle East history, only one peace treaty has stood the test of time, the 1978 Camp David Accords. In the new documentary film, Backdoor Channels, The Price of Peace, learn the true story behind the greatest diplomatic achievement of our time and its lessons for the future.
The price of peace is very high. To have this courageous man and my close friend killed
Named by the Foreign Policy Association as one of the top 5 documentaries of 2011. DVD now available on Amazon.com. Get the book that inspired the award-winning movie. Leon Charney's Backdoor Channels is on sale at Amazon.com. Now available as a paperback, Kindle ebook, or a book DVD gift set. It's a great way to learn how history was made behind the scenes. The limited edition audiobook is a 10-disc CD set available directly from Barricade Books. Call them at 201-944-7600 for more information. Be a witness to history. Order Backdoor Channels. Leon Charney's new book, The Battle of the Talmuds, is now available as an audiobook. This wonderful CD can be ordered directly from the publisher for just $29.95 plus $12 for shipping and handling. Listen as this audiobook explains how Judaism's greatest scholars broke from their own history and gave spirituality to a people without a homeland. And you can also get the audiobook version of Leon Charney's bestseller, The Mystery of the Kaddish. Get a detailed explanation of one of the oldest and most revered prayers in the Jewish religion as Charney's book explains how the Kaddish evolved. Both audiobooks are available directly from the publisher for $29.95 each, plus $12 for shipping and handling. Call 201-944-7600 and order with your credit card. That's 201-944-7600. Immerse yourself in Jewish history.
Are you telling me that the Munich 11 wasn't taken care of by the Mossad?
What?
The fellas who killed the boys in Munich.
No. Let me tell you, maybe, I don't know if they've been killed or not, but I want to tell you the information, it's not the killer what makes the story. It is who brings the information, where are these people, where they are staying, what is the information. That's the most important. Killing is really the small thing in the part. That's the end of the result.
All right, so Harel walks in and tells you, look, I got this guy Eichmann in Argentina, we got to take him down, and we want to bring him back to Israel, we want to bring him back alive. And you're a person who's seen a lot of your family that died at the hands of this Eichmann and the Nazis, and you got to go to Argentina and do this whole operation. And the reason they pick you is because you look a little bit Germanic, you speak German, and you have a black belt, so you know how to tackle this guy.
I'm a master of this guy.
Am I correct so far?
Yes.
All right, so you hop on a plane and you set up an operation over in Argentina. Was it tough to get this bastard?
It's tough to get because it took us about 2.5 years after.
Really?
2.5 years, and that was the first information we got from Fritz Bauer, the prosecutor in Hessen. It's not how many people think it is Wiesenthal. Between us.
So we still had nothing to do with it.
Nothing to do.
He's written some books. Has he written some books about the capture?
He writes about everything.
He likes to write. Huh?
You know what? He's a legend. I think I'm not going to come and say how the reputation of the legends. I'm come to say only one thing. Who did it? It was Fritz Bauer who brought the information. He was the prosecutor in Hessen, and he really had a problem because he was Jewish, and the first thing what he has to do is to go to the German and tell them the information.
The German, wait a minute, prosecutor in Germany was Jewish?
He was the prosecutor.
Really?
Fritz Bauer was a Jew.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
And he was living where?
In Hessen.
In Germany?
Yes.
And he told you about Eichmann?
He told the first thing about Eichmann.
Wow.
And that's the big thing, that's the great thing that I don't mind Wiesenthal, I don't mind Fritz Bauer. For me, who brought the information, he gets the credit. So I, as a young boy at that time, I knew that Fritz Bauer, and twice he insisted that this is the man. Even we just thought that maybe it's a mistake.
Really?
He insisted it. If not Fritz Bauer, I don't think we would ever catch Eichmann. So he gave the information, and then after 2.5 hours, we sent an agent. He came with the conclusion it's not the man, because after all, don't forget, Eichmann was dressed always with the uniform.
Right.
You put on him another 15 years, it could be everybody. Right. You know, sometimes, you know, a policeman takes off the uniform, you see him some other man. So he made a mistake, and we thought it's not the man, and only after 2.5 years, Mr. Fritz Bauer insisted that we made a mistake.
Is that right? You staked them for 2.5 years? And
No, we didn't stay. We followed the story, and we thought it's not the man.
I got you.
So, in the end, Israel, with Ben-Gurion, decided we send a team there. And first was the one, the photograph and all this. We came to conclusion that our photographs that we got from Fritz Bauer, the first one, and the photographs we have done in a photograph in Eichmann, with this photograph, there was no contradiction to the nose. Let's say the nose was almost the same, the chin was almost the same. But the truth is, we captured him, and we didn't have 100%.
You weren't sure?
No, was not sure. But why did we capture him? Because we decided, after being there a few months, if Eichmann will feel that somebody is following him, we'll never find him again, like with Mengele.
Tell me,
we decided to capture him and then to confirm.
But let me back you up 1 minute. Was he backed? Was there a neo-Nazi group in Argentina who was backing him and tipping him off and feeding him and taking care of these guys? Was there such a group?
I didn't deal with him. What I've dealt is exactly with him, because when I got the man, I started to work with him. But I know already, because I worked alone. I wanted once to capture Mengele. There's always a group that they send them money, send them, look, how did he come to South America, Eichmann? He was furnished with a passport and identity by the German church.
Really?
Not only him.
Really?
The church helped a lot of the German church. Helped a lot of most of the Nazis. Now the Nazis sent him to South America. So he got already the identity and everything. Okay, he was like his name was Cardo Clement, like a South American, nothing to do with German.
What was he doing then? He had a job?
Worked with Mercedes-Benz.
He worked for Mercedes-Benz.
Accidentally. Everything is accident.
Accidentally, huh?
Yes.
All right, so now you fellas set up in Argentina.
We set up. It was a big team. You want me to tell you what team was?
Yeah, why not? It's historical.
The team was really, we came to South America. The first one was to make the photos. The second one was to go there and to try to rent. We rented about 8 to 9 houses there, and I'll tell you why later. And then we had to get cars. So one is, we sent someone to rent all these things. He has to be European. Nobody was Jewish there, nobody was Israeli. We've been German or English or French.
And they worked for the Mossad?
For sure.
By contract?
No.
They
not
work
by
for
contract.
Mossad.
Work for the Mossad?
Okay.
Everything is a contract, you know. But,
so you're the only Jew with the team?
No, I've been also German. There's no such a thing. Everybody was Jewish, but not the identity.
Their identity. So you picked
all
people.
my life I didn't work like a Jew. All my life I didn't go to synagogues. I went to churches. Why? You go to a synagogue, they always tell me, oh, you're the 10th of the minion, and you have a beautiful girl, you can marry her. In the church, you walk around 3-4 hours, nobody bothers you. You see a lot of art, right?
Right.
And you lit a candle, and after 3 or 4 hours, you go out, nobody knows about you. So what do I have to choose? Always the church. Because you need about 3-4 hours.
Well, Merry Christmas to you, Peter.
So you see, it is. I never went to the embassy. I never knew Israeli. When I finished after 28 years, I didn't know no Israelis and not Goyim.
Well,
that was the
Goyim
trouble.
are non-Jews, and a lot of them are watching the show.
Non-Jews. Why? Because the non-Jews, I didn't want that they would know me. And the Jews, I also didn't want to know me. So you are a lonely wolf, what you're working.
It's a tough job.
It's a job that you have to bring the evidence, you photograph the evidence. I'm not writing, collecting information, like collect information, what you tell me. I have to steal the information, to bring it, to photo it, and bring it home. That is
That's the job.
It's a good job. You know why? I don't have to rely on nobody. I rely on what I see. My information, how I get it, it was a small section of mine. I have 10 people. 3 looked for, and me always, I have to confirm the information is right. I didn't rely on nobody.
Did you enjoy this work?
Very much. You know why? It opened my mind. You know why? Because you learn your enemy. When I looked in the mirror in the morning, I didn't see how beautiful you are. I saw how the enemy looks at me.
Right.
And all my life, from that time and now, you have also to have good eyes to see the small things.
Did you take a look at my producer? He looks a little bit like an enemy, doesn't he?
I don't know. But it's very important that I've studied the enemy, and it's not an enemy. I studied the people. For me, there was no enemy.
Oh, sure. That's...
I studied, I said, everything that is against me is the red, and everything for me is the green. And many times it happened to me, in the green was my enemy, because my enemy didn't make me any difficulties. He let me go.
I got you.
In the red, I had sometimes the head of the Mossad, the other things, they interfered into your doing. So when you do, you have to see who is for you and who is behind you. And it's also good in business, I think.
It's good in everything.
Yes.
So, all right, now you know who the enemy is. You know you got to capture Mr. Eichmann, and you're now in Argentina. You've got safe houses all over the place, and you're trying to confirm whether this is the guy. And then they put a plan out, and you're the guy that has to tackle. You put the plan out. You created the plan. And was Harel in Argentina also?
Yes.
And he was supervising?
He was, I wouldn't say supervising, because we, after all, we have been the, how do you say, the experts, and he was really a man that gave his advice.
Were you excited to do this or nervous?
Very much.
Were you nervous?
I was not nervous, and I tell you why. Normally I'm not nervous. Even to be here, you see, I'm not nervous.
Why is your leg shaking? All right, go ahead.
I was not nervous, and I tell you why. First, I was anxious to do it. Second, it was not, how do you say, an act or an operation that you have to be afraid of. If I go to an Arab country or I going to steal, I was much more alert. Not afraid, alert. If you're afraid, don't do it.
Right.
You're afraid you're only from things you don't know.
Right.
When I'm going to steal from you something, I know everything more than you. You know what makes you feel afraid? It's only from the unknown.
The unknown, yeah.
Unknown.
I've got to cut for a minute.
Yes.
This is an intriguing, fascinating, riveting story. You're on the edge of your seats now, so don't run to the refrigerator and take food because it'll make you heavy, but stay tuned. Watch us. We'll be right back.
In modern Middle East history, only one peace treaty has stood the test of time, the 1978 Camp David Accords. In the new documentary film, Backdoor Channels, The Price of Peace, learn the true story behind the greatest diplomatic achievement of our time and its lessons for the future.
The price of peace is very high. To have this courageous man and my close friend killed.
Named by the Foreign Policy Association as one of the top 5 documentaries of 2011. DVD now available on Amazon.com. Get the book that inspired the award-winning movie. Leon Charney's Backdoor Channels is on sale at Amazon.com. Now available as a paperback, Kindle ebook, or a book DVD gift set. It's a great way to learn how history was made behind the scenes. The limited edition audiobook is a 10-disc CD set available directly from Barricade Books. Call them at 201-944-7600 for more information. Be a witness to history. Order Backdoor Channels. Leon Charney's new book, The Battle of the Talmuds, is now available as an audiobook. This wonderful CD can be ordered directly from the publisher for just $29.95 plus $12 for shipping and handling. Listen as this audiobook explains how Judaism's greatest scholars broke from their own history and gave spirituality to a people without a homeland. And you can also get the audiobook version of Leon Charney's bestseller, The Mystery of the Kaddish. Get a detailed explanation of one of the oldest and most revered prayers in the Jewish religion as Charney's book explains how the Kaddish evolved. Both audiobooks are available directly from the publisher for $29.95 each, plus $12 for shipping and handling. Call 201-944-7600 and order with your credit card. That's 201-944-7600. Immerse yourself in Jewish history.
We're back. I'm Leon Charney. We're talking to Peter Malkin, the man who captured Eichmann, and it is a riveting story, and we're taking it step by step because this will be an historic tape. and people will follow us for the next 50 years because we have Peter in person and we're getting all the details. Peter, when you first learned about the fact that you'd be on this Eichmann team or you'd be capturing Eichmann, you had a lot of feelings about the Holocaust that you didn't really know about, but you knew your mother suffered, so you had to see your mother. Tell us the story. You were head of the disguise department, right?
Yes. I started the disguise department. They even didn't think about it. All my life, when I was a small boy, I liked to disguise myself and all this craziness, as a small boy. But in the end, when I had a small team, I understood that the most important is that this team, to use it, is sometimes, that you put on somebody a raincoat, on glasses and all this. From far away, you see him, he's already cut the features of his, and you see somebody else, you understand? So It's important that you move not always as you are, that you will remember you. The yellow, I'd say this jacket, and this. Right. So you change it, and from far away, you see another image.
Right.
Okay. But this is another. So I did it a lot. It's also teeth to change your voice, teeth to change your play. It's a lot of work with dentists and all this. Okay. So when I went to capture Eichmann, as you asked me before, I was very worried, not afraid. Only one thing, that I wouldn't make the mistake to capture him, because I was, has to be physically to capture him one by one, he against me. And if you
Why was that, by the way?
Why? Because they asked me, would you like to help? I said no. Why? Coordination always is the most difficult thing. Coordination.
Right.
If I go with you together at night, and I capture him from here on all this, it could be that we capture him, and it wouldn't be you hold the feet, I hold the hands. It's, at night, and he will start to shout, and Jewish, maybe they will tear him to pieces. I will take one leg, you take the other leg. So it's the best thing. One is the best coordinator. You know what you're doing, because you don't have to think about it.
You control it.
So I practiced it about 150 people to capture them. 3 months at the time.
Really?
Capturing. Even my mother. Fat people. And then when I was sure that I captured him in 9 seconds, and I tell you why it's important, the time, the speed is important. After I captured him, and I did all these things, and I saw it's okay, I did it also in Bois de Boulogne, maybe in France, to see if people see it, how the speed will look to them as they don't imagine it's aggressive act. It's something they've seen, but they can't report.
Right, I see.
That's why it's important.
Witnesses.
2 things is important when you're going to capture, because kidnapping is another big thing today. Kidnapping became day by day. But the biggest thing is, we, from a far country, to capture him, the police will see, nobody will report it. You put him in, and you go and you bring him back to Israel. So the big thing about Secret Service, that nobody will see. It's not army. You kill, you shoot,
right.
And you get the...
It has to be like nothing happened.
It has to be like you can repeat it.
Right.
And nobody will see. So it has to be the speed is important.
Right.
And also to see the environment if nobody sees you at the right time. Because you can't say in the town, stop walking, we're going to kidnap somebody.
Right.
So it is, okay, so that's why it's important. Now, when I had to come to do it, and suddenly I said to myself, to hell, Peter, what about your family? Who was your family? And all my life, when I was a boy, I ran away when they talked about Holocaust. My father died 3 days after he found out. 3 days after he found out that my sister and our children and his brothers and everybody died. I took him to the hospital with a motorcycle. He was not ill, no nothing. From agony he died. And when they start to talk there with my family, I always ran away. And I asked myself, why? Because Holocaust became a story, a sad story, and all the time weeping and all this. So I say to the people, gentlemen, don't say Holocaust when you tell the children. Tell them, let me tell you a story. You don't have to start with the title of weeping, crying, has to tell about a story. It could be a very brave story, a beautiful story. So that's what I tell the teachers. They accept with me. So they say, how am I going to know about it? I disguised myself. I said, I'm going to my mother.
You disguise yourself to
I
talk
guided
about?
myself to go to my mother. One of the things that say, if I have to disguise you, you have to go to another country that we don't want you to know. I always send you or to your mother, or to your wife, or to your sister, or to the girlfriend.
Really?
I give an address of my girlfriend then. She's in California. I said, you know, they have a problem. Maybe they think it's impossible. I said, send them to me, and I tell them how much I suffered from you. She was standing in the corner, and I came, can I paint you? Oh, you would be wonderful, naked, painted. I said, can you go away? I have a friend of mine. He's coming in a few minutes. It's better you go. I said, no, I know Peter Malkin. I said, really? So that was the discussion then. I took away all this.
And you were he.
Yes.
So you
now with my mother was something else. You see, you coming, you disguise yourself. I have a lot of practice for years. And I come to her, and I know every Friday I go with the car. She's looking from the terrace. I said, Peter. And this time I took away the car. It was a Falcon Ford. I left it away. I went up and knocked on the door. And Friday, I said, Peter. She opened and said, excuse me? I said, I'm a friend of Peter. I came to rent here a room for the Technion. You know, I'm going to study there. She said, what room? Yeah. I said, Peter said to me that I come and he is here. He said he has to come in a while. But you know, with Peter, everything could happen. I don't know about the room, but why don't you go to the room inside? I bring you some gefilte fish and tea. I go to the kitchen. And that was my first time, even I lived sometimes there, not all the time, that I looked on the wall. I saw my sister, the paintings, the pictures and everything. And you know, the Eastern European like to put under the glass. I look at them. And suddenly she comes from behind with the gefilte fish and tea, put it there, and tells me the story of my family. And then she said, look, that's the sister, you see the brothers and all this, and that the Yankale, Yitzhakale, and all, Rivkale, and all this. I said, all are gone. No one is alive. All died in Auschwitz. And she said, but do me a favor, you never say it to Peter. If he will hear that I talk to you about Holocaust, he'll never come back to this home.
Really?
Yeah, that's what he said to me. I said, okay, no, I wouldn't say anything. She goes one time back to the terrace, and suddenly I said, okay, we have to make a stop, because almost you have to, you know, the candles, you have to, how do you say?
Light the candles.
Light the candles. She goes out, I follow her, I hold her by this, I took off my wig and all this and the teeth. She said, Peter, you are a man that's going to kill me. You, my son, are going to kill me. Why do you do these things? I hate these things. I said, no, I just make a joke. I said, a joke? What? Suddenly you start to ask me these questions, these stories about your sister and all this. Where are you going? See, to lie. My mother was so clever. It's kind of the Golda women. Said, okay, you never knew what I'm doing.
She knew you were in the Mossad?
No.
No?
She knew that I work for the...
Government?
For the government. And the, how do you say, in the army or something. Never knew. And she said, where are you going? I said, I'm going to Paris. That was normal. And she said to me, okay, you're going to Paris. And these all questions. You see, to lie, I looked at her eyes, to lie to a mother is difficult. To lie to a Polish Jewish mother, forget it. So we laughed, and I went away. That was the story about this guy. Why?
Tell her where you're going?
Huh?
You didn't tell her? Couldn't tell her?
No. If I tell her, there's no way it can
but
work.
Tell me your voice.
You could never work
she didn't hear your voice?
No.
You can disguise the voice?
Exactly.
Too? Really?
Change the voice. That was one of the things that worked about 1 year with a dentist, special dentist, they have to change the voice.
Really?
That was the most difficult.
All right, so now you're on your way to Argentina. Your mother told you the story of the
Why did I
Holocaust.
disguise? Because they took me also. We have to disguise also Eichmann.
Yeah,
Okay?
so you have
for
to.
sure.
So you're now on. So you're ready to capture Eichmann. You want to kill him, basically. Is that your instinct?
So maybe we go to this. Okay, that's a good point. I never want to kill him. I'm not a man who kills. I never kidnapped somebody. Never made an aggressive act in my life. And I even didn't think I'm going to kill him. You know, when I come, it happened to me with a friend of mine. They attacked a friend of mine. They beat him. At that time, my anger was so strong that I beat the other one. But you don't, how do you say, collect anger from the past just because of this occasion. I'm not, you know, I don't know how to do it. I didn't have a reason.
All right, so your job was to
memories.
capture him.
Yes, and professional. They took also people that been involved in the Holocaust because their father, their mother, that happened.
Right.
But still they knew their mission has to be to bring him over to Israel. What kind of revenge can you have from men that sent millions of people, 1.5 million of children? You're going to strangle him, so what's the big thing about it? The whole mission was, we talked about before, to bring him over to Israel and to listen what he has to say, that evidence all over the world will come. Because he was only 55, and it was 15 years after the war, and everybody was there, can talk. And that was the most important thing. For me, I never thought about it.
You didn't want to kill him.
But when maybe we'll go back when I see him walking here, if you like.
Go ahead.
And I saw him walking again and again. And what made me the most crazy, when he went on this bus from his work till his not far from his home, he crossed the road, 202, I remember, went to the Garibaldi Street, and there he lived. And it made me crazy how much he loved his family, how much he loved his wife and other children, and how much he loved this 6 years old named Hassi. He's now a professor in Germany, 6 years old. And I said,
have you met him, the son?
No, I didn't meet. Somebody else met him. And I was crazy how much he loved him.
You didn't think you could have emotions for a family?
Look, they tell me I should the man who, I don't know what kind of man I'm going to see.
Cold-blooded maniac, right.
Yeah. So suddenly you see he loves. And that's what amazed me.
In modern Middle East history, only one peace treaty has stood the test of time, the 1978 Camp David Accords. In the new documentary film, Backdoor Channels, The Price of Peace, learn the true story behind the greatest diplomatic achievement of our time and its lessons for the future.
The price of peace is very high to have this courageous man and my close friend killed.
Named by the Foreign Policy Association as one of the top 5 documentaries of 2011. DVD now available on Amazon.com. Get the book that inspired the award-winning movie. Leon Charney's Backdoor Channels is on sale at Amazon.com. Now available as a paperback, Kindle ebook, or a book DVD gift set. It's a great way to learn how history was made behind the scenes. The limited edition audiobook is a 10-disc CD set available directly from Barricade Books. Call them at 201-944-7600 for more information. Be a witness to history. Order Backdoor Channels. Leon Charney's new book, The Battle of the Talmuds, is now available as an audiobook. This wonderful CD can be ordered directly from the publisher for just $29.95 plus $12 for shipping and handling. Listen as this audiobook explains how Judaism's greatest scholars broke from their own history and gave spirituality to a people without a homeland. And you can also get the audiobook version of Leon Charney's bestseller, The Mystery of the Kaddish. Get a detailed explanation of one of the oldest and most revered prayers in the Jewish religion as Charney's book explains how the Kaddish evolved. Both audiobooks are available directly from the publisher for $29.95 each, plus $12 for shipping and handling. Call 201-944-7600 and order with your credit card. That's 201-944-7600. Immerse yourself in Jewish history.
The sun used to make our outdoor deck and patio space so hot and uncomfortable we couldn't use it.
But then we discovered the Sunsetter retractable awning.
It provides instant protection from the sun's harmful rays.
It keeps our patio about 20 degrees cooler.
Now you can get your Sunsetter for as little as $499 when you call now to get this $200 discount certificate and free awning idea kit.
Call now for your free awning idea kit and $200 discount certificate.
Call 1-800-239-6167.
I remember the night when I have to capture him, and he went down from the bus, walked a little bit, it was raining, thunder, crazy. When they made the book, they thought maybe invented to dramatize the thing, and suddenly they prepared the water and everything to make the rain. Suddenly it became thunder, so raining like crazy. It's a place that's very cold. So he was walking, I walked, and my problem was also to concentrate, because I saw my mother, I saw Tel Aviv, what they're going to say, and I said, okay, shut up. I knew exactly where I'm going, that my plane here and there. And when I captured him, I said, I knew only one sentence, uno momentito, senor. That's all. People ask me, uno momentito, senor, one moment, sir, because I want to stop him. At that time, I didn't wait for an answer. And many people ask me...
Did he try to repel you when you...
Many people ask me, how did they take you? You know only one sentence in Spanish there. I said, to capture somebody, you don't need a language.
Right.
No, but I captured him. In my side, you have to remember, was a lot of practice and the surprise. Nobody, even you're stronger, nobody can, how do you say...
Overcome that.
Overcome the surprise. And the quickness I've done it. Somebody asked me to try it. They never asked me again, even now. It is so quick and so surprised that you can sometimes, I was afraid, sometimes when you hold your tongue, you can cut it easily because it's done like this, quickly. And what Israel also said to me, okay, there was a discussion about the plan, and I decided that's my plan. I said, I'm playing Hamlet, I play it in my way. That's always like this. You know, you can play Hamlet in your way. It doesn't say it would be bad. So they decided that my plan is exactly what I want to do. And I was walking, I said, uno momentito, senor, and he, in the moment when I said uno momentito, he was so afraid, and I saw his eyes at night, and he saw the car not far, he understood the story, and he retreated. I jumped on him, we fell in a ditch, and he shouted. And Israel said to me, if you strangle him, I strangle you. We want him to bring him to Israel.
Right, you want him in Israel.
But the problem is, if you hold him too strong,
you could kill him.
I have to make him easier, and the shout was to find how much I have to hold him stronger. And that was the only shout he shouted. And we bring him out. It was raining and all this. He was not far from the...
You think he knew you were an Israeli?
Later, it looks like.
No, for sure he did. Later
Look, a man who did all his way, and there was so many reporting, Eichmann is here, Eichmann is there.
People were chasing him.
Said, he thought, in the moment we captured him, he knew it's for sure Jews. I don't know if he knew it's Israeli and all this. I never asked him. But he said, in the room later, we verified, he said yes, for sure.
Did you debrief him for a long period? Did you talk to him a lot?
I've been with him 10 days.
Right.
My problem was, when I captured him, hold him,
right,
is the first time, and I say it truly, not because you ask me now, I felt so bad. I asked myself, how is it a man like you do such an aggressive, hold the other guy?
You felt
He's a human being.
You
I felt this. How did I come to a situation that I have to hold another man and almost strangle him? And how is it the man like me and you, not a monster, no, is exactly like you, became an Eichmann? And I said, I have to ask him later. I don't know if I can do it or not. I have to ask him why.
All right, let's hold for a commercial break, and we'll find out how you asked him, if you asked him, whether you asked him. So you have to stay tuned, don't leave us, and we'll be right back to continue this riveting story of the capture of Eichmann. We want to talk to Peter about a lot of things, especially present-day things, so we may go quicker on the story, but it's a terrific story, and if you want to read about it, it's in a book called Eichmann In My Hands by Peter Malkin and Harry Stein, and you can buy it at in Brooklyn at 1325 East 17th Street in Brooklyn, New York. And that's where you'll find the book. It's sold exclusively through this store right now. And I'm sure you'll want to read about it. We'll be right back.
In modern Middle East history, only one peace treaty has stood the test of time, the 1978 Camp David Accords. In the new documentary film, Backdoor Channels, The Price of Peace, learn the true story behind the greatest diplomatic achievement of our time and its lessons for the future.
The price of peace is very high to have this courageous man and my close friend killed.
Named by the Foreign Policy Association as one of the top 5 documentaries of 2011. DVD now available on Amazon.com. Get the book that inspired the award-winning movie. Leon Charney's Backdoor Channels is on sale at Amazon.com. Now available as a paperback, Kindle ebook, or a book DVD gift set. It's a great way to learn how history was made behind the scenes. The limited edition audiobook is a 10-disc CD set available directly from Barricade Books. Call them at 201-944-7600 for more information. Be a witness to history. Order Backdoor Channels. Leon Charney's new book, The Battle of the Talmuds, is now available as an audiobook. This wonderful CD can be ordered directly from the publisher for just $29.95 plus $12 for shipping and handling. Listen as this audiobook explains how Judaism's greatest scholars broke from their own history and gave spirituality to a people without a homeland. And you can also get the audiobook version of Leon Charney's bestseller, The Mystery of the Kaddish. Get a detailed explanation of one of the oldest and most revered prayers in the Jewish religion as Charney's book explains how the Kaddish evolved. Both audiobooks are available directly from the publisher for $29.95 each, plus $12 for shipping and handling. Call 201-944-7600 and order with your credit card. That's 201-944-7600. Immerse yourself in Jewish history.
If you're looking at a home security system, or even if you already have one, ADT can give you so much more. Like our new keychain remote. Now you can easily arm and disarm your system with the touch of a button. Even turn on your lights. You can also count on fast alarm response from our advanced network of monitoring centers. Plus great local service, ADT's exclusive theft protection guarantee, and a money-back guarantee if you're not completely satisfied. And you can get all this and more for as little as $1 a day. A single ADT system can help protect your home from burglary, fire, and carbon monoxide. When an alarm is received, ADT can respond quickly, calling the local authorities for help. You can even add new technology like Safe Watch Video View. Now you can know what's happening in your home by actually seeing it on your cell phone, computer, or TV. Even if you already have a security system, it's easy to add ADT monitoring. Call now and save over $250 when you buy ADT's family package.
It's peace of mind that can also save your life.
ADT, always there.
58 different individuals are absolutely using my old Social Security number. My credit score just went out the window.
Identity theft can be devastating. That's why LifeLock is proactive protection, working to help stop identity theft before it happens.
And the biggest difference is stopping it before it starts.
LifeLock's exclusive identity alert system goes beyond mere credit monitoring, which only alerts you after the theft. With LifeLock, it's like having a digital fingerprint. If a new application doesn't match you, we send an alert. And if needed, we help fix the identity theft. Don't wait another minute. Call now. Go with the industry leader. Join LifeLock and get alerts to important information, a $1 million service guarantee, plus a team of identity theft protection specialists. Enroll now and get 10% off your enrollment for you and your entire family. Call today and mention ID Alert to take advantage of this special offer.
We're back. I'm Leon Charney. We're talking to Peter Malkin, the man who captured Adolf Eichmann, and it's a riveting story, as I keep telling you. And we're now at the time in this chronology where Peter has him in the room and they're talking, and I'm sure you had some discussions about life with him. Am I correct?
Yes. My problem was I couldn't speak with him. I didn't have nobody said you can't speak and all that, but normally it was more for the interrogator. They spoke excellent German, all this. I also speak German. The question was how to start speaking. That was the most terrible thing. And suddenly he said to me, when I sit there and feed him and all this, I also had a problem with the other team. I have to speak to him. Nobody will listen that I speak with him because they say, oh, we start to talk to him. So I spoke with him very, how do you say...
By the way, in the movie, they show a very heavy woman there who was on the team. Was there truly really a heavy woman there?
No.
No.
They made a heavy.
That was created.
I don't know why.
I don't know why either.
Why shouldn't they give me a beautiful woman?
Right. Why not a romantic lead?
She was really romantic. The other one was romantic. She knew a lot of languages. I don't know why. But she was good, you know.
Very good.
They want to show the country, anti-hero. Anti-hero. So they made also her anti-woman. No, or a woman, a fat woman. But she was nice.
All right. So now you have to open up a discussion with him.
Okay. And I want really to know what made him to be Eichmann, because he can ask me what made me to be Peter Malkin, because after all, I was in the secrecy and he was in secrecy. I didn't want to know what I'm doing. He wouldn't tell me what he did. But after about 2 days, he didn't want to eat. It was very difficult to feed him and all this. I said, look, that's an order, you have to eat. So he ate.
I think I know the doctor, by the way, who was there. He became the LL doctor, didn't he?
I know.
What was
he
his
was
name?
He was the head of the department.
Really?
No, very, very big. He was very big.
Really?
He doesn't want even to tell his name.
All right.
Okay. But, so he said to me, are you the man who captured me? And I said, why? Because I remember that one momentito, senor. I said, yes, I want to compliment you. You've done a good job. Okay, I have to make you know. Thank you. But then I asked him, I want to ask you a question. And I knew one thing. As I didn't understand, a lot of people don't understand 6 million, 12 million. I can't see 12 million lying dead,
right,
you know.
Right.
Impossible. But I want to talk to him about, as everybody understands, about one child. That was the child of my sister. I said to him, I've seen your small boy, Hassie. I played with him. I saw him many times in the street. I saw how you played with him. When the train went through, he lived near a train, accidentally. And he's a beautiful boy. He's about 6 years old, blonde, blue eyes. He said, did you kill him? So why should we kill him? We have nothing against your family. I want to ask you, why is he, this boy, alive, and the child of my sister, the blonde, the blue eyes, is dead, and you killed him? He said, wasn't he Jewish? I said, yes. So what could I do? That was my order. And you didn't come through an order to capture me? We're both soldiers. I've done what I have to do. You captured me, you've done what you have to do.
By the way, it's known that Eichmann went to Palestine in the 30s. Why?
He was in 36. You know, he was a good soldier. Like when he got the head of the department.
But in 36 they had such a department?
Yes. He already was there.
They knew
already
about, they wanted to exterminate Jews in 1936?
Yes, for sure. He went, no, let me tell you how it was. He came to learn about the Jews. And he came to study about Palestine because he thought maybe we can send people. In the beginning there was, but he was there in Haifa, okay, in 36. Why did he come? As like a good German, to learn his file well. Who are the Jews? Because that was his department. So he wanted to learn what is the material I'm going to deal with. And
what was the correct name for the department? What was
I've forgotten the name. It is the Jewish department has a V2.
Right,
I don't remember.
Right, but was it department to take the people out of Germany or to exterminate
there have been 2 stages. The first stage was Judenrein, clean the Jews from Germany and the occupied lands, and that was called in the beginning the final solution.
I got you.
But what happened suddenly? He said, "Look, nobody wanted them." So what could we do? We changed it, and then when they went to the Wannsee conference, if you know where it is, near Berlin, 1 hour from Berlin, I showed my pictures there, okay, my painting. Then there was discussion about the final solution that he was made with Heydrich, the the how do you say it, the preparing of it, the planning of it.
The planning.
And there was the final solution is to eliminate the Jews. Who is a Jew? Who is a half a Jew? Who is a quarter of a Jew? And they sat there, and they sat there the whole night, and they made the decisions what will be the final solution. And that makes me crazy till now. I've been there about 6 months. My paintings have been shown there.
You're a painter, and you're showing paintings,
yes,
right?
Yes. That was my cover story always. I showed, and suddenly I said to myself, look at these people. They asked me, many times, look, a lot of people suffered from German. Even the German died 20 million. Right. But what was the difference between the Jewish and the others? Right. Only one thing. The the final solution, genocide, was only against the Jews. That went directly from Hitler down, killed the Jews, no trace of them anywhere you can do it. So it was Germany and the occupied lands. That is the difference between us, the Jews, and the others. And they also suffered, I don't say. But the real, thing, genocide was only against the Jews.
The day that Eichmann was executed, how did you feel? Or did you feel anything?
I didn't feel, good or bad. I thought, in a way, if we can leave him, let him live, and listen again and again,